What's up, everybody? Welcome to another last call. And tonight, what I want to talk about is the news that earlier this week that The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild will be having DLC, an expansion pass, basically. And there's been a lot of talk about that, and a lot of people showing their anger. There is a video up on the Nintendo YouTube channel. It's only a minute 26, and it basically has Al coming out and explaining what they're planning on doing with their season pass. And the thing that strikes me as odd is we hear a lot of times people saying Nintendo needs to get with the times. They need to embrace gaming, uh, modern gaming, you know, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but you can understand where I'm coming from. They want they want Nintendo to become more modern and stop, living in the past. And when they do that, people still get mad. First thing I want to talk about is DLC. Number one, DLC is optional. You don't have to get DLC if you don't want to. So people that's coming out and making these grand declarations, doing these grand videos, going into 30-minute tirades about an optional DLC that you don't have to get if you don't want to, you would believe by listening to some of these, you would actually think and believe that somebody is making consumers go get that. No, you get it if you want to. That's the whole thing about DLC. It's always been optional. Now there has been examples of good DLC and examples of bad DLC. So let's take a look at an example of bad DLC. An example of bad DLC is what Capcom does normally. And if you think I'm joking, I'm really not. If you play Ashura's Wrath, they basically sold you the end of the game. If you got that DLC, because I bought the season pass for it because they had these two interesting sub chapters in there where there was full on animated sub chapters, and those were fire. I mean, that was fun. It was different. I'm like, I didn't know that was going to be the case, and I was like, I was all in on it. But then now I have already beaten the game at the time, and then I'm going through and playing the last piece of the last part of the season pass, and I realized they sold me the end of the game. So yes, that's an example of horrible DLC because Capcom didn't tell you what was in it. Well, they did tell you about the animated sections, and they did tell you about the whole Akuma Ashura versus Akuma thing, which is actually pretty cool. But they didn't tell you they were selling you the end of the game. An example of good DLC, Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. When they sold those packs, they gave you basically two packs. You could have bought both of them for like I think it was $12. It was cheap. It was basically half a game, and that's a good example of DLC. But at the end of the day, it's DLC. It is optional. You don't have to get it. So you complaining about it, especially when they break it down for you and tell you, what you're getting. You don't. It doesn't make you look great like you're saying something that's important or you're fighting against a man. You're just making yourself sound like an entitled brat, honestly. And I don't mean to come off as like a rant or anything, but it's just I find it odd that we still are still doing this now. Where we have gamers who come out and want to make these grand declarations and mad about, a game that A, they haven't even played yet, and B, you're mad about something that's optional. Let me say that again. Optional. You don't have to get it if you don't want to. See what I'm saying, people? That you don't have to get it. If you don't want to get it, then don't get it. Speak with a good buddy of mine, Liger from Induo. He always says, "Speak with your wallet." That's how you do it. You're tired of DLC. You want companies to complete their games and stuff. Then don't buy the DLC. Don't buy the optional content if you don't want it. But anytime you have companies like EA bragging about how much they make off DLC, all right, that's what happens. And in this case, I really don't know what the problem is. It's not like they were doing the DLC trailer before the trailer to the game came out. Come on, man. And it wasn't even a DLC trailer. It was AJ Aonuma coming out and saying, "Hey, you know what? This is what we're doing for you guys. It's gonna happen it's gonna be one. If you buy the expansion, if you buy the season pass, you're gonna get something at launch. There's gonna be another. There's gonna be some map updates in the summertime, and I forgot what else. And then there's gonna be another dungeon release around the holidays. They're telling you when it's going to release. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? There's no reason to be mad. You can make an informed decision. Let's see. Do I think this is a good value for me? If no, don't buy. If yes, then buy. There's it's not rocket science. It really isn't. I mean, kind of to me, it kind of sounds like, you know, you have to be careful what you wish for. You really do need to be careful what you wish for, because some of y'all, it's just it's funny. I mean, I could give you example after example, especially as it pertains to Nintendo, because one of my favorite examples is Splatoon. Splatoon was a new IP. People were mad that uh it didn't have, voice chat. I mean, there were so many people who hadn't played the game complaining about voice chat, so much so to the point that it ripped apart entire communities, gaming communities, which made no sense. It launched. There wasn't a lot of content at launch, but Nintendo told you what they were gonna do. People were still mad, making all these declarations about not buying it or buying the game used because they ain't gonna give Nintendo their money. Guess who does the same thing? Halo 5 does the exact same thing. You don't hear a peep out of anybody. They was quiet as a hooker in church. Nobody said a thing when Halo 5 didn't let you choose what map you want to go to, didn't have all the maps available at launch. Nobody said anything. And that's just an example. You know, it, it's one of those things where I don't understand where people get upset about it. I mean, it's The Legend of Zelda. If you like it, you're probably gonna wind up getting it anyway, because it's The Legend of Zelda. It's a timeless classic. It's one of the best video game series ever. Not my words. Other people have said that, but I'm sorry if I came off a little bit ranty. I'm trying not to do that on this channel. I just find it a little bit odd and a little bit concerning when you have people complaining about optional content. And then but they don't complain about anybody else that does it. They don't complain when Capcom does it. They don't complain when EA does it. They don't complain when Sony or Microsoft does it. But anytime Nintendo does anything, they complain, and then they talk about how they need to get with the times and this and that, and you know, but you're not even giving them a chance when they're doing the things that other companies are doing that are claimed to be more modern. Some of y'all just need to make up your mind. All right, people. That's it for this last call. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this gonna sway your decision to buy Breath of the Wild, or are you like me, dude? Either you get it or you don't. Just shut up and play the game. Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next vid. Peace out, peeps.